Picture this. I'm rolling back onto my family's land after 4 grueling months in DC. The sun's painting everything gold, my truck rattling with dust and country music, and suddenly, bam, red and blue lights slicing the quiet. There's not one, not two, but 3 squad cars straddling the gate like the sheriff's putting on a parade. And you know who's standing there, arms folded so tight you'd think she's squeezing lemonade out of herself? Karen Whitmore, bouncing like she just won the damn Powerball. Her smirk so wide I almost missed the no trespassing sign behind her. Honestly, you couldn't script it funnier if you tried. Now, the deputy walks over, hat in hand, looking like he'd pay real money to trade places with a cow in August heat. "Sir, we got a trespassing complaint. This lady says you don't belong here." I can't help but chuckle. There's an iron sign over my gate that reads White Hawk Ranch, EST 1887. And here's this woman who's lived next door all of 12 weeks telling the law I'm the one trespassing. Diesel fumes blend with the dry sage. Cattle bellow somewhere out back, probably wondering what all the fuss is. I look Karen dead in the eye, then turn to the officer, and with the calm of a preacher on Sunday say, "Officer, meet the woman who just called the cops on the guy who oversees every HOA in America." Watching her face melt faster than ice cream in August was something I wish I could frame. I mean, what would you do if a busybody tried to get you arrested on your own family's dirt? Go ahead, drop your worst HOA story down below, and tell me where you're tuning in from. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up a sec. My name's Garrett Whitehawk, and this ranch isn't just land to me. It's blood, it's legacy. My family's been here since the frontier days. 2,400 acres of Texas history, mesquite, and some of the best cattle in Millfield County. 4 months ago, I buried my dad right here. Not just the land, but a weight of generations was handed to me. At the same time, DC called. I got a promotion as Regional Oversight Director for the Federal Housing Authority, which, in plain English, means I make sure HOAs across 5 states play by the rules. The irony's already thick, but just wait. See, while I was up north wrangling developers and learning how to spot HOA scams a mile away, my foreman Buck Henley was holding the fort and wrestling with our newest neighbor, the one and only Karen. Her little slice of California, Sagebrush Estates, was sold as authentic Western living, which apparently meant folks paying top dollar for a view of real cowboys, then complaining about every damn thing that makes it real. Karen? She swooped in from some HOA civil war in San Diego, named herself Community Standards Advocate before her moving truck cooled off, and started policing us like it was her birthright. Buck called her a caffeinated chihuahua, twice the bark, half the sense. The first week, she's cruising by with a clipboard, snapping photos of cows and writing down their bathroom habits like she's planning a TED Talk on manure. The complaints started piling up, certified letters about odors, unsightly equipment, cow noise. If she could have cited us for cloud formation, she would have. Buck's updates came through scratchy phone calls to DC. "Boss, this woman's time-stamping feedings and measuring dust clouds. Claims our access road violates her property setbacks." Here's the kicker. Our cattle road's been there longer than her entire neighborhood. But to Karen, it's suddenly a traffic hazard. I come home to a stack of complaint letters and my first face-to-face with Karen at Kowalski's feed store. She slides up, all porcelain teeth and not a hint of warmth, and starts in about modernizing our operations to fit the neighborhood aesthetic. Behind her, old Marty Kowalski's pretending to stack salt licks, trying not to laugh. "Ma'am," I tell her, "this ranch was here before your neighborhood was even a fever dream." She just smiles and talks about solutions, the kind that mean surrender. That night, I sit on the porch, storms brewing on the horizon, bourbon in hand, thinking about the compatibility hearing the county scheduled. Thanks to Karen, who wants our cattle road moved, our schedule changed to fit her dinner parties. I just smile. She doesn't know she's picked a fight with the guy who can audit her whole HOA with a phone call. Within a week, Karen assembles her little army, Property Values Committee, official folders, and a PowerPoint titled Agricultural Operations Impact Assessment. Buck's cameras catch her lieutenant, Bryce, showing up with a laser pointer like he's planning D-Day. Then, the twist, Karen starts digging into me online and decides I'm a corrupt official covering for ranchers. She tells her crew, "We'll go straight to Washington over his head." not knowing she's putting herself right in my jurisdiction. Meanwhile, my lawyer, Sarah Olivia, pulls the title search. Turns out, our land's protected by agricultural easements, permanent legal shields. Every complaint Karen files only strengthens our case. You can't move next to a ranch, then complain about ranching, Grandpa always said. A little more digging, and we find Karen's trail, 3 states, for communities, always the same pattern. Harass, escalate, move on. I call her old neighbor in San Diego, and she just laughs. You got Karen? She tried to get our mariachi band arrested and filed 17 complaints about dogs. We have a cat. You can't make this up. Karen hires a fancy Austin law firm, demands we stop ranch operations within 200 yards of her house. Cost estimate, $340,000 and changes. Also, she can host brunch without the smell of cows. She organizes a Facebook campaign, Millfield County Rural Reform, and starts posting glossy photos of cows breaking the law by, grazing. The whole community starts to take sides. Marty bans her from the feed store. Rita at the diner tells her where she can file her dress code suggestions. Then comes the county hearing. Karen's got charts, graphs, and a multimedia show detailing how our ranch is a threat to civilization. But what she doesn't know is the county planner, Marcus, is my dad's old fishing buddy. He reviews our easement, then laughs so hard coffee comes out his nose. Let her talk, Garrett. Might be educational. Turns out, Karen's complaints are documenting exactly why the law protects us. Every agency she contacts now has a file proving our operation's historical legitimacy. Even better, Sarah uncovers that Karen's house is 50 feet from our property line, not the 200 feet required by original permits. Technically, her dream home's in a legal structure. At this point, Karen's desperation goes nuclear. She calls Channel 7, claims federal employee abuses power to intimidate neighbors, gives them footage of dust clouds and feeding noise, tries to frame it as government corruption. The reporter, Jake Morrison, starts investigating, uncovers Karen's pattern across 3 states, and flips the story. Now the headline is Problem Neighbor Targets Longtime Ranch. Karen's support evaporates. Her own allies jump ship. Even her husband, Dave, finally cracks, caught on Buck's camera confessing. Karen, we're broke. We owe $89,000 in back taxes. We can't afford this madness. But Karen's too deep, like a gambler doubling down, convinced one more bet will fix it all. Meanwhile, my federal oversight uncovers sagebrush estates receive tax incentives, meaning they're under my jurisdiction for compliance. The HOA has failed to file reports for 2 years, mismanaged over $127,000, and now faces a $340,000 compliance bill. Money they don't have. County issues a compliance order, insurance threatens cancellation, residents start selling. Karen's own media blitz blows up in her face. Callers to local radio mock her claims. The sheriff warns her about filing false reports, and a judge grants us a restraining order after she's caught stalking and photographing our ranch. But the real cinematic moment, Karen violates the order, storms the courthouse steps, points at me, and shouts, "You destroyed my life," while deputies move in. Her mugshot's in the paper next to our ranch's Heritage Award. The subcommittee hearing I testify at gets broadcast nationwide. The story goes viral. Late-night hosts joke about HOA Karens calling the cops on cows. Congress passes new protections for agricultural heritage, and our ranch earns state historic site status. Property values rise. The new HOA apologizes, and Karen's house is foreclosed. Dave divorces her, their kids cut contact, and Karen moves out of state. Her name now a warning in property management seminars. 6 months later, life's calmer. The ranch thrives, kids from town learn what real agriculture is, and the annual Heritage Festival draws more folks than ever. Sometimes the best justice isn't revenge, it's just letting folks tie their own noose. Karen set out to destroy us, but ended up exposing every flaw in her own world. The mic drop? She never read her own property disclosure, signed a document acknowledging all ranch activity and easements before buying. You can't script a better twist if you tried. So tell me, what would you have done if someone tried to run you off your own land? Drop your story below, especially if you've tangled with an HOA tyrant. Do you think communities should have the power to erase history for property values? Or does legacy matter more? Hit like, share your thoughts, and subscribe if you believe in standing up for what's right. Next week, wait till you hear how I stopped a casino from bulldozing Main Street. This story's got nothing on that one.